Welcome to Project Initiation. In this video lesson, we'll try to understand project initiation in detail. Project initiation is the first phase in the predictive project management. So, as you might already know, the predictive project management, in predictive project management, the project passes through the phases of initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, and closing. Project initiation is the first step uh, uh, in the project management life cycle. So initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, and closing. This is known as project life cycle or process groups. Now, the first step in project initiation is developing the project charter. So when we initiate a new project, we will have only the sponsor is there or the senior management team is there. They are deciding to start a project. And the first thing they do is they must create a business case. Why are we doing this project? What is the investment required? What is the payback period? What is the net present value? So all those things will get into the business case because business case always we speak with numbers. Then the charter contains the high level scope of the project. So it is not detailed scope. It is a very high level scope of the project. And one must define the major milestones with dates, not a detailed one, at a milestone level, detail major milestones with dates like requirements completion, design completion, construction completion, testing completion, handover. So those kind of major milestones. So here the key thing is a milestone is a major accomplishment in a project. A milestone per se doesn't consume any resources. When we complete all the associated activities, a milestone is accomplished. So a milestones are major accomplishments in a project. A milestone per se doesn't consume any resources. Then a good charter will contain alternatives analysis. So before deciding on this project, what are the other alternative projects we considered? And why are we justifying this particular project? Now, if you want a swimming pool to be constructed in your premises, what could be the other alternatives? Why can't you go for a club membership? Or why can't you build a swimming pool which can be rented out? Or why can't you stay in an apartment which has a common swimming pool? So all these alternatives are there if you want to enjoy a swimming pool. And if you're constructing a swimming pool for your private use, it should have a business justification. Then a charter contains assumptions, constraints, and dependencies. What are the major assumptions we are making? Maybe every year, June to September, it will be raining. So that is an assumption. Another assumption is this particular place won't be affected by floods, or we have sufficient roads which are wide enough to transport the material to the project site. So these are some of the assumptions we are making. So all those assumptions must be listed out in the charter. Then the constraints. When we say constraints, the time, cost, and scope, primarily, we call it as the triple constraints. The project must be completed by so and so date. The project must be completed within this much budget, and this is the scope. It must the scope that must be met, because anyway the high level scope is designed within the charter. And another key aspect of a good charter is we have to list down the key stakeholders of the project, their name, their contact details, maybe their high-level role description. Those things gets into a good charter. When we say stakeholder, it includes the project manager, it includes the sponsor, the senior management team. So all those people, especially that high power, high interest groups, and the high power, low interest groups will get into the project charter. And it's a great opportunity to get the roles and responsibilities defined. Then, through the charter, we identify the project manager. So the project manager's name will be there. The roles and responsibilities will be there. If there are multiple project managers, all the project managers name the responsibilities. So this brings in a lot of clarity onto the roles. And the project charter is approved by the senior management representative or the sponsor. So this becomes a very authentic document. So if somebody asks you, who appointed you as a project manager for a particular project, then this is the only document which you can show because it is approved by the senior management. Hence, we say that a project charter gives authority to the project manager. And since it is done by approved by the senior management representative slash sponsor, any major changes to the project charter must be reapproved by the senior management slash sponsor. So this is the first step. A project charter ensures that only the right projects are started. With the right projects which has the solid business case gets started and it gets formally approved. That means the project manager gets the necessary support that is required to, to make the project successful. After preparation of the charter, the next step is to identify the stakeholders. We prepare a stakeholder register. Sometimes it goes hand in hand with charter preparation because in the charter itself, we have to list down the key stakeholders. So we prepare a stakeholder register which will contain the stakeholder name, contact details, description, expectation out of that particular stakeholder. And sometimes it will have a stakeholder classification like high power, high interest, high power, low interest, low power, low interest, and low power, high interest, etc. So after preparing the stakeholder register, we do a stakeholder analysis using the power interest grid, and we get those classifications like high power, high interest, high power, low interest, etc. Let us take a look at the major tools and techniques one use for developing the project charter. Brainstorming is used whenever you need to generate ideas. We use brainstorming. Then focus group is equivalent to a task force. We may have to conduct interviews with key stakeholders and conflict management to techniques or skills the project manager should possess, and facilitation skills because we need to collaborate with the key stakeholders while preparation of the project charter. And we must define, we may use a responsibility assignment matrix, RAM, for defining the roles and responsibilities. There are two variants of the RAM, that is a responsibility assignment matrix. We have the RASI chart and we have the RACI chart. RASCI stands for responsibility, accountability, support. Some places S stands for sign off as well, consultative and information. So, who is responsible for that particular activity? Who is accountable for it? Who must support it or sign it off? Who must be consulted? And to whom we must send for information's sake. Another variant is the RACI, that is responsible, accountable, consultative, and information. A detailed descriptions of this RACI chart and all is available in the supporting page. If you yeah. To summarize, the charter gives maximum. It gives a formal kickoff for the meeting, and all the major risk can be managed at the time of chartering itself. The one key thing for project failure is improper business case. So those risks, because if a project doesn't have a proper business case, it is bound to fail. So sometimes people ask this question like, when does a project fail? At the beginning or during execution or at the end? Very often, the root cause of failure happens at the beginning of the project. Maybe we start a project which doesn't have a business case, or our assumptions are wrong, or our constraints, some of the constraints are not listed, or we missed out on some of the major key stakeholders to be included in the charter. All those risks can be addressed by creating a proper charter. And this gives a formal start to the project. Thank you.